Hi guys, Crispy here. Just continuing on my series. Today I was going to start off with the Warboss on Warbike. So this guy, differences between him and your regular old Warboss. This dude can move 14 inches and he has 7 wounds instead of 6. As far as the rest of the stats go, his weapon skill hits on 2+, ballistic skills hitting on a 5+, strength and toughness are the same, so 6. 4 attacks, leadership 8, and a 4+ save. So all that is the same as a dude on foot. Other differences with this guy is obviously his warbike, and his warbike is armed with a dagger gun ×2. So you get 6 shots. They're assault 3 each, range 18, strength 5, and damage 1. You can also give this guy an attack squig if you want, which is an additional 2 attacks in combat at strength 4, -1 AP, and 1 damage. So not a bad option there. He can also get the big chopper, which is +2 to your strength, -1 AP, and 2 damage. So obviously make him strength 8, so that's fairly decent. And he also has stick bomb, so he can throw a grenade, D6, strength 3, AP 0, and damage 1. So not too bad there. As far as abilities go for this fellow, he's got the here we go rule, which is that one where you can re-roll failed charges. He's got the mob rule, so his leadership can be the same as a larger mob near him. So if you've got 20 dudes sitting near him, he will be leadership 20. He's also got the War ability, and it actually says specifically friendly Ork infantry. So this won't work on your bikers. So units within 6 of this model at the start of the charge phase can charge even if they advance this turn. So it's a really nice ability, especially if you're running a green tide list. Breaking heads. If a insert clan unit fails a morale test within 3 inches of a friendly insert clan warboss, then they can restore order by taking D3 mortal wounds, and then you just ignore whatever result you got. Morale test is counted as passed. So that is the biker warboss there. Obviously he also gets access to the shooty and choppy weapon list, so those are great. I mean, this guy is just super fast. Movement 14, that's pretty brutally fast. Bikes can also advance as well, so you got the D6 on top of that. So yeah, so if you're already running bikers, I imagine you'll probably be pretty happy with this sort of stat line. It's not too bad. Save 4+ is maybe a little bit flimsy. And unfortunately the bikes have also lost their smoke cloud, so you're not getting any sort of cover or invulnerable save or anything like that. I'll move on from there. I'll come back to support elements for this guy. We'll go on to Weirdboy. That's the other HQ that I'm yet to review. So a Weirdboy. This guy in the old codex, remember, I think he just had a knob stat line. And I can't remember I think he had like a lance weapon ability. Like he wasn't that great, especially with toughness 4 and instant death and only 2 wounds. Like he just didn't stick around very often. So yeah, there wasn't really much choice and much point in including him unless you had the Daka Jets, and then you could try and get that wire ability off more often to try and get the double shots. Anyway, now he is more like a character like the big mech. He's got the same stat line actually. So he moves 5. He hits on 3+. He's ballistic skill 5+. So hitting on 5s. Strength 5, toughness 4, 4 wounds, 3 attacks, leadership 6, and a 6+ save. Obviously 6+ save. That's less than the big mech. I believe the big mech had a 4+. So that's a little rough on him, but he does have the character rule, so you can hide this guy. You know, if he's behind other units and they have to target the other unit unless they're a sniper. If there are any snipers on the field and they decide to kill this guy, he's probably dead. As far as abilities go, he's got the 3 War abilities that you see at the very beginning of the book. Let me see if I can get these up here. Alright, here we go. So you've got a choice. You can pick either one of these, or you can roll a D3 and just randomly generate this ability. So the choice is completely up to you. He can take Edbanger, which is Warp Charge, a value of 6. So now with spells you roll 2d6 to try and cast them. So if you roll over a 6 or 6 or above, you roll a d6 and you compare it to the toughness characteristic of the closest visible enemy model within 9 inches of the psyker. So that's fairly specific. If the result is higher than the model's toughness, it's gone. It's slain. So the only thing is that on a d6, there aren't really that many. I mean, some of the Space Marines are toughness 4, but some of them are also toughness 5. So it's not probably going to be all that often that you're going to roll over their toughness to kill them with this ability. Also, you don't get to pick. Let's have a look here. Yeah, closest visible enemy model. So you're not going to really get to pick. It's there's a lot of stuff to try and get this off. I mean, if you just want to pick off line infantry one at a time, then yeah, it's a decent spell. But you probably just use that smite, which I think is D3 mortal wounds. So that's just a much better spell than Edbanger, most likely. The other ability you've got is you've got Warpath. So Warpath has a warp charge value of 7. So again, roll 2d6, get over 7. If you manifest it, select a friendly Orc unit within 6 of the psyker. Increase that unit's attacks characteristic by 1 until your next psychic phase. So this would be pretty damn good on, well, Slugger Boys. Slugger Boys have got 2 attacks, plus the 1 from their chopper, plus this 4 attacks. That's decent across the board. Slugger Boys are now strength 4, or all Orc Boys are now strength 4. So yeah, Warpath seems like it could be pretty decent. The other ability you have is the jump, which is probably one that you've heard of, especially in a lot of the articles that have been released recently, where they've been talking about, you know, some of the Orc tactics. This is the one where you can teleport your units across the battlefield. So it's got a casting value of 7, so again, roll 2d6, get over 7. If manifested, you just select a friendly Orc infantry unit within 6 of the psyker. You remove the unit from the battlefield, and then you set it up anywhere on the battlefield, but it has to be more than 9 inches away from enemy models. The main thing there is that it has to actually be more than 9 inches. So you're going to have to make roll a 9 for your charge, because you can now add. I think you have to get within 1 inch, so that's not too bad. But when you stick them down, you have to be like, you know, set them up 9.5 inches away or whatever. I don't know. Maybe you could actually do like a couple millimeters and be cheeky that way if you wanted to. So those are your spells. Obviously, as well, when you teleport a unit like that, they count as moving for the heavy weapon purposes. And what else have we got here? And that'll also probably count as well. You can't advance after that because you count as moving. So that's also a bit of a shame. So you got the 2d6, got to get a 9, but you've got the reroll with the E we go, so that's not too bad. Just bring back my stats here. Alright. Alright. So what else has the Weirdboy got? So he gets to add 1 to the casting value for every 10 friendly Orc models within 10 inches of this model. If the total result on a cast is 12 plus, then the model immediately suffers the perils of the warp, exactly as if you had rolled a double 1 or a double 6. I'm not entirely sure what a perils of the warp is at the moment, just because, as I said in my previous videos, I haven't really looked too far into the core rules, and to be honest, probably I'm not going to field a Weirdboy myself. Even though some of these abilities are cool, I just, you know, all my points are probably going to be used up on well, Death Dreads, because those are my favourite models. And what else have we got here? And obviously, a Weirdboy, he can also try to attempt to deny 1 psychic power of the enemy, and I believe the range on that is 24 inches. So if someone's within 24 inches of you, they go to cast a spell, you just got to roll higher than their casting value to stop it, but you can only do that once. So that is the Weirdboy. So let's go on to the support options for these guys. I mean, they're always going to be pretty similar to any sort of infantry unit within the Ork list. As far as these guys go, obviously the Warboss on bike, you can get a big mech and you can stick him on a bike as well. So that's obviously going to give him the movement 14, the additional save, the additional wound, sorry, and also a 4+ save. And then that's going to give the whole unit the 5++ from shooting. You can also get the Pain Boy, and a Pain Boy can also come on a bike, so obviously he also benefits from those abilities. So it's going to have the 14-inch move, the extra wound, and the 4+ save. So then that's going to give them also the 6+ feel no pain. Weirdboy, but you have to be within 3 inches of the Pain Boy, and then with the big mech, obviously the unit has to be wholly within 9 inches of the force field in order to get that buff. And same goes for the Weirdboy. If he's within 3 inches of a Pain Boy, he's going to get the 6+ feel no pain. If he's wholly within 9 inches of the custom force field, he'll get that 5++, which is going to be huge for him because he's only got a 6+ save. So he's definitely going to need something to keep him alive if in your meta, when your meta is finally formed, people are using snipers, which if you go on a lot of the forums, you know, especially the Imperial players, they're all talking about the Vindicare Assassin, so you can bet on it that there's going to be one of those guys sitting on the other side of you, taking pot shots at your squishy characters, which Orcs have a lot sitting by themselves, which I'll cover in the following videos. Anyway guys, thanks for listening. Hopefully you liked the video. Obviously like and subscribe. If I've missed anything, or if I've got any of these rules wrong and you've got the book in front of you, obviously in the comments let me know, because I'm just like everyone else, I'm learning this. So yeah, so as I said, Warboss bike, 14-inch move, wound 7, 4+ save, 6 shots at 18, not too bad. Weirdboy, 6+ save, little not so great. 4 wounds, but then has that mobility spell or the additional attack on a unit, which is super good. Alright, thanks for watching guys.